Hi, everyone. Hi, Mom. I put you on mute. Do you need to talk to me? Okay. Um, let's get started. Lying down. Seems like you want to get started lying down. And I am feeling like starting lying down. If you want to rest on a bolster or a blanket or use blocks in any way to really relax as we begin, set yourself up. I think I'm actually going to take just a blanket to lie down on for my whole spine, just a little bit of gentle heart opening. And you might just sprawl out on the mat, on the ground, with your legs out, your arms out. It might feel better to bend the knees and let the knees knock in. Play around with it. You can support underneath your knees. Just thinking of the next 45 minutes to an hour really as this opportunity to settle into easefulness, to um, allow yourself to really take pause in every posture, to go deeply into the experience of every breath. Let go of time. Favor of being here in the moment. The last time I recorded a session and we practiced together a couple weeks ago, we were still talking about Rāma and how Rama's reactions to things, like why are his reactions righteous? What can we learn about Rama's approach to life? And he had been first about to be consecrated, then he had been exiled into the wilderness. That pretty much brings us up to present. Rama is in the wilderness with Sita and his brother Lakshmana. And time passes. In fact, time seems to pass rather pleasantly for Rama. He is removed from the day-to-day cares of the kingdom, even though he worries about his family, his life, his forest. It's pleasant. There's plenty to eat. There's little other hermitages nearby. There's plenty of space. Time slows down, just like you breathe, time slows down. Notice if the body is holding on subconsciously to any points of tension. Maybe you can release the muscles of the legs. Maybe you can release the muscles of the hips. use the breath. Maybe taking open mouth exhales to really settle into the space, to feel the momentum of the day shifting down. How are the muscles of the face? Are they relaxed? Maybe there's an open mouth exhale. Your next exhale. Sighing it out. Maybe the next exhale is a fluttering of the lips. Stepping into a new time. Blink the eyes open gently. Just let the gaze come online. Notice how the body might react from being so relaxed, opening the eyes. Try to relax around the eyes being open. Notice if the gaze is trying to focus on anything, and just let it be soft, kind of taking in the sphere in front of you. Take your arms, lift them overhead slowly. Use an inhale. Yawning the body open. Exhale, let the arms just come be heavy overhead. It's a gentle stretch through the whole front of the body. A few breaths here. Let the body be heavy. So every change, try to cultivate a non-reactive state, like you're doing the activity with attention and mindfulness, but without a rush, without tension, without incurring any kind of dis-ease or dukkha in Sanskrit. Bend the knees slowly, one at a time. Notice how that changes things for a breath. Relax into it. Notice if the back of the neck scrunched up. Just let your chin come down. Find the length through the back of the neck. Notice if any tension came into the pelvis or lower back, and just relax. And then roll off onto one side. Doesn't matter which side. And relax there. Breathing. Rāma and Sita and Lakshmana are camped on the banks of the river, so they get really connected to this time of the earth, the time of the water, this elemental time. They slip into that rhythm now that they're away from the city, away from the people, away from all these elements, constructed time. Calculated time. If you're ready, just be very easeful and push your way up to a seated position. Let your legs come out long in front of you and into a V. Maybe you want to sit up on a prop. I like a blanket just to keep some space in the lower back. So when you come up and you bring your legs out, just gently to a V. It's not the biggest V in the world. Flex through the feet, find engagement, just so you can find this like lift, expansion, space to put the breath into. And as you inhale, let the arms come out long to a T. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, turn to your left, tapping the toe with the right hand. Inhale, lifting up through center. Exhale, moving to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Keep it going. Tap into the breath. Try to find a softness even within the structure. So there is energy through the fingertips. There's energy through the legs. There's energy through the center of the body. But can the breath move softly in and out of that space and make the edges of the movement rounder, softer, more smeared and blurry, more of a continuum. Notice if you start to let the mind lead time and try to let the breath lead time. Notice when the mind begins to notice time, getting impatient, turning, see if you can acknowledge it and then release attachment to it. Last time to each side. Inhaling the arms up to the sky. Exhales, feel the breath drop down through the base of the spine into the ground. Inhaling. And then exhale, just hinge at the hips, reaching forward. So keep the arms up as long as you can, and then let the hands come down, maintaining that like maximum length of the spine. So that's just the point of the effort, is to make more space. To cultivate these channels, rivers of our inner landscapes, sending the breath, sending our awareness to every little corner of the body, breathing in, feeling all the capillaries rushing from fingertips, toe tips, channeling into bigger blood vessels, lifting up through the heart, recirculating. Relax the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it out the mouth, sigh it out. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh it out. Walk the hands back in towards the body. Shift onto hands and knees. Coming to a tabletop position. Keep this nice slow time. So if you want to set anything up, allow yourself to set it up. Blanket under the knees is nice. And finding level ground. So weight evenly distributed between hands, feet, wrists on top of, or shoulders on top of wrists rather, and knees aligned underneath the hips. Press down into the finger pads, press down into those base mounds of the fingers, press down into the tops of the feet, spreading the pinky toe edge down to the earth. Feel the breath, engage with that effort in the body, filling up the space in the body, and then inspiring movement in the body, inhaling, opening the heart forward for cow, exhale, rounding it in for cat. Leading with the breath, letting the body unfold and contract around the shape of the breath that's unique to your body. So you might want to be focusing on your shoulders or your hips, whatever it is physically. Maybe it's this envisioning of the whole spine, extending and contracting. And it's not to say that Rāma is like just relaxing in the ashram. There's a lot of work to be done, a lot of work that he didn't used to do, but there is a slowing of time. Meanwhile, back in the city, everything is chaotic. Everything's moving really fast. The king dies. Rama's brother, Bharata, is back, finds out that his father's died, finds out that his brother's been exiled. And he has to handle the funeral and has to do all this stuff. He has to reckon with what's gone on, and he's mad at his mom. It's her idea, kind of crazy, how much it's thrown his world into chaos. He has to go on this journey to find Rama. He feels so badly about what's gone down. Meanwhile, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana have settled into this ascetic practice of life, the forest, this practice of being in tune with time. Notice if the movements change to something more fluid. Or uniquely shaped to your breath. Notice if your breath is even or if it's feeling good to have for inhales or exhales. It all just depends on your particular nature at this particular moment. Inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, transitioning smoothly to downward facing dog. The hips stretch up towards the sky. You can bend one knee and straighten the other leg and kind of switch sides from side to side, wagging your dog, walking your dog. You might rotate more fluidly through the hips and just feel that creating space. Notice where you need space and find ways to make it. Finding a length in this posture feels so good. And then settling into stillness in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Balance of effort that creates ease. Press down in the hands, send the hips up and back. Feel the inner thighs roll towards each other. Send the heels down to the earth. Wrap the biceps in towards the ears. The triceps wrap under. The shoulder blades square off on the back. The head hangs heavy. You can nod yes. You can shake the head no. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, sighing it out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, let the knees come down. Sit back on the heels. You might press the tops of the hands down into the lap just to release the wrists or roll the shoulders out. Get some, just relaxation into your arms, hands. You might flick the fingers, really taking the time to go into the corners and the cracks and not really having any end goal in mind, just being. Might feel good to like take the fingers all in together and then flick them out like you're flicking water off the tips of your fingers. Keep the breath flowing no matter what you're doing. Roll wrists both directions. Interlace the fingers. You can roll the wrists out that way. And then let yourself come to stillness. Let the hands rest on the lap. Palms face down. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and down, heavy through the shoulders, heavy through the hips. If you want support under the seat, always take it, make yourself comfortable, find the space. If you can become aware of energy itself settling, so like this gravity settling in, the hips get heavy, face gets heavy, eyeballs get heavy. Again, noticing how the mind wants to keep time and seeing if you can just let go of the instincts to move forward or backwards. Sit forward onto hands and knees again as you're ready. Again, move smoothly, slowly. Inhale, the right foot stretches back. You can press the ball mound of the foot down into the earth and just feel that nice stretch. Let the knee come down, do the same thing on the second side. Left foot stretches back until stretching out the back of the leg, stretching out the whole length of the leg, feeling like the thigh muscle turn on, get some juice there. Let the knee come down. Both hands, both knees on the ground. Inhale, send the right leg back, lifting the toes up off the mat this time. Exhale, feet comes towards the shoulder. You can take a couple circles here. So move with the breath, sweep space into the hip joint. Notice what's going on in the hip joint. See what happens when you turn it the other direction. Move that with the breath. Notice how it feels different. Learning something, becoming more aware of the movement patterns and habits that we hold in our bodies. Inhale, stretch the leg back. Exhale, step your right foot forward outside of your hand. We're coming into a lizard lunge. Blocks are nice. Just to give yourself space. So I'm putting my blocks on the highest setting to begin with, just to really feel this downward sinking of the hips here. Really find it. And once you get that weight, you might have to walk your back foot back a little bit. Once you get the weight into the hips, just really letting yourself go into it. Maybe you come down onto forearms or just lower the blocks. And breathe into the pit of the belly. Feel it really fill like it's being a pitcher being filled with water as you inhale. And exhale, offering out, filling your guts. Hips get heavier. See if you can relax elsewhere. And I'm just maintaining the basic level of structure for the breath to move efficiently and fully through the body. When you're ready, smoothly just bring the palms back to the blocks or the earth. And then we're going to send our hips back for a half split. So on an inhale, the hips shift back, flexing through their front foot. Spine stays long as the belly fills, the chest fills. You kind of find that space, so then you can tilt the hips into it. And as you exhale, you'll find a deeper fold maybe. Again, making sure that we're still offering the heart forward. Spine is long. Movement is coming from the hips rather than rounding into the back, creating space through the back of the leg, but not overextending our knees. So making sure that you just have a good sensation of the stretch in the hamstrings rather than having a sensation of the stretch like the back of the knee or at the top of the hamstrings. It should really be like the belly of the back of your thigh opening. So Rama's brother Bharata comes to the forest and finds his brother and tells his brother the news of his father dying. And Rama is, and he brings like everybody, all of the mothers, all of the priests. He makes this big crowd, and they kind of do a reunion, a funeral for king. And then Bharata tries to convince Rama that what he needs to do is come back to the city and take over the kingdom. And he pleads with Rama, and he pleads with Rama that Rama has the wisdom and righteousness, I guess, to prevail. Rebend your front knee, just come out of that stretch. And we're swinging back to a tabletop position. Releasing the hands to the earth, setting your props aside just for a moment. We're going to do that second, all that on the second side. So your left leg will lift up, start making circles in the hips, and you know where it's going. So just move with the breath. So Rama reasons with his brother and says, no, I have to do what was given to me. The orders given to me by my father still hold. Doesn't matter what you want. I appreciate the sentiment, but what's right is for me to stay here in the forest and for you to go back and rule this kingdom. Of course, Bharata is like, yeah, but the kingdom's the best. I need your help. But somehow Rama still denies him. And Bharata goes back. Switch directions if you're doing your hip circles. Explore that angle of the hip. And shortly after Bharata leaves, Rama is there in the ashram, and it becomes evident from omens that it is no longer sustainable for him and Sita and Lakshmana to remain in that ashram with all those other hermits. They have to go deeper into the forest. Inhale, stretch the leg back. Exhale, step it forward outside of your left hand. Hands come inside, finding lizard lunge. Let the hips sink heavy. And the Ayodhya Kanda, the second book of the Rāmāyana, leaves us with these, our heroes, having to go deeper into the forest. Deeper into isolation, deeper and deeper into the unknown. Maybe you're coming deeper into your lizard lunge, coming down to forearms. Hips get heavier and heavier, spine stays long. As you go deeper and deeper into the forest, it's darker and darker. More and more unknown. Takes persistence and bravery and courage, fortitude, and focus to persist deeper and deeper. When you're ready, shifting back for Ardha Hanumanasana, come up onto your hands first. Inhale and exhale. Transitioning slowly, inhaling, straightening that front leg. Exhaling, folding in from the hips. Rebend the front knee, coming forward to your lunge. Come back to tabletop. Set the blocks off to the side. Toes come together, knees come wide. Sit the hips back onto the heels. And flipping your palms, like so the fingers face towards the knees and your shoulders wrap down the back. If you need to bring the ground closer to you, you can always use blocks, or you can take a bolster and press down into the bolster here. Roll the shoulders down the back, let the hips relax onto the knees. If you need something between your knees and your bum, you can always take something there. Really support yourself. We're going to practice lion's breath or simasana for couple of like a minute or two, I guess. We're going to do 10 full rounds of simhasana. So I'll show you one. As you inhale, you drag the top of the tongue back across the top of the mouth, as far back as you can. So, and then as you exhale, you spill the tongue forward, letting it come out of the mouth, allowing the eyes to roll up towards the third eye center. So it looks like this. And it sounds like that too. And we'll just do that over and over again. Keep the breath kind of softer though, so it's not like so fierce, but really just more of a releasing thing. Beginning by emptying the breath completely. Inhale, begin. Three more. Inhale, release. Coming back to release the hands. Set your props off to the side. Take an inhale and center. Exhale, walk yourself forward, coming into a child's pose. You can rest your head or your torso on props, maybe blocks, maybe a bolster, a block under the sternum and another one under the forehead can feel really nice and supportive. So the heart space still has support even while it's melting down towards the earth. Forehead is something to release into. The shoulders can release down. If you had 4 blocks, you could put blocks underneath your armpits too. Relaxing and breathing here. Going deeper and deeper. Sending the breath deeper. Spreading the skin of the lower back. Feeling the breath rise into the armpit. Feeling the heart release down to the earth. On an inhale, move the hands back towards the knees and press yourself up smoothly. Swing your legs out in front of you, stretching them long. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward from the hips. Just a really gentle, easy forward fold. Finding that perfect balance of a light engagement, a light lift, the heart. Find space for the breath without losing the ability to sort of relax around the breath. Let the back of the neck be long. Coming up, releasing that. Last posture, you can feel free to just come down to a plain old Shavasana, all the way down on the ground, or if you like, you can join me in this heart opening Shavasana, a really supported fish pose. So I'm going to use one block. This one, it's medium setting. You might want yours on the high setting. You'll play around with it. That's going to be under your head. The other block is going to be under your shoulder blades. It's going to go horizontally, either on the lowest setting or on the medium setting. You might even take a bolster and put that as like a ramp to rest down on. Sometimes I find that to be a little bit too much. Sometimes there's weird noises and bangs and clangs in the forest or while your neighbors come home. Just go with the flow. Don't lose your breath. You're coming down and you're resting. So again, shoulder blades on the block, head on the block. Legs can be out long or you can bend the knees. It's up to you. Finding release. You might even take that bolster or blanket and put it underneath your knees. Kind of a best of both worlds, probably. Oh yeah, that feels great. And just relaxing around this posture. Again, the heart is just able to melt open. This time towards the sky rather than towards the earth. You can let the face be soft. Feel the shoulders evenly aligned underneath you. The back of the neck nice and long. The breath can go all the way down to the pit of the belly and find this nice receptive softness there. Connection to the core, to our instinctual, intuitional core. Think completely. Allowing yourself this space, this practice. It's a safe space to be vulnerable, a safe space to cultivate this internal awareness. Good place to start to go deeper into the forest. Prepare for the challenges ahead. Meet them with ease. If you're joining online on YouTube, I'll leave you here. Namaste.